Pijana Bharava Jaya Giri Bharachari Jaya Giri Bharachari Yashoda Nandana Bharajana Nandana Yashoda Nandana Bharajana Nandana Yamuna Tira Banachari Yamuna Tira Banachari Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari Jaya Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Srivasadi Gaura Bhakta-vrinda Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Jaya Prabhupada, Jaya Prabhupada, Jaya Prabhupada, Jaya Prabhupada. Nittai Gaura Haribo, 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 Nittai Gaura Haribo. Go Premanandi Hari Haribo. John Vishnupada Paramahansa Pariparikacharya Trotesisma A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Śrīla Prabhupāda Ki Jai Anante Koti Vaishnavinda Ki Jai Namacharya Shri Haridas Thakur Ki Jai Prince Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Shri Vasari Gaura Bhaktavinda Ki Jai Ganga Mai Ki Jai Yamuna Mai Ki Jai Navadvipdhama Ki Jai Vrindavan Dhama Ki Jai Samaveta Bhaktavinda Ki Jai. All glory to the assembled devotees. All glory to the assembled devotees. All glory to the assembled devotees. All glory to Shri Guru and Shri Gauranga. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Today we are reading from Srimad Bhagavatam, Canto 3, Chapter 8, Manifestation of Brahma's form, Brahma from Vishnu, text 20 to 21. I'm going to read text 20, then we'll return 21 together. O Vidura, while searching in that way about his existence, Brahma reached his ultimate time, which is the eternal will in the hand of Vishnu, and which generates the fear in the mind of the living entity like the fear of death. Text 21. On the board. Tato nibrito pratilabdakama. Padrisyan asada punasadeva. Sanai juttas pasa nibrita cito. Nasida aluda samadhi yoga. Tato nibrito pratilabdakama. Svadhisnang asada punasadeva. Sanajittas pasa nibrita cito. Nasida aluda samadhi yoga. Please chant. Nasidaruda samadhi yoga. Tato nibito patilayattakama. Nisasana punasadeva. Sanajittas pasanibirita cito. Nasadaruda samadhi yoga. Tato nibito patiladakama. Madhishtaya sada punasadeva. Asita citta sapita citta. Sanaluda samadhi yoga. Tata, thereafter, Nibrita retired from that endeavor. Apulatila Bakama without achievement of the desired destination. Spadhistham Om Sit Asada reaching Puna again Sa He Deva the demigod Shanai without delay Jita Sarvasa controlling the breathing. Nibrita retired. Chitta intelligent. Nasida sit down. Aruda and confident. Samadhi yoga in meditation on the Lord. Translation. Thereafter, being unable to achieve the desired destination, he retired from such searching and came back again to the top of the lotus. Thus, controlling all objectives, he concentrated his mind on the Supreme Lord. Purport. Samadhi involves concentrating the mind upon the supreme cause of all, even if one is unaware of whether his actual nature is personal, impersonal, or localized. Concentration of the mind on the Supreme is certainly a form of devotional service. To cease from personal sense endeavor and to concentrate on the Supreme cause is a sign of self-surrender. And when self-surrender is present, that is a sure sign of devotional service. Each and every entity, living entity, needs to engage in devotional service to the Lord if he wishes to understand the ultimate cause of his existence. Om Jnana Timirandasya Jnana Jnana Sharakaya Chakshum Militam Jnana Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha. So in this third canto, creation is described. There is 10 kinds of creation and 3 kinds of annihilation. Out of 10 kinds of creation, 6 was mentioned already, which was sarga, means creation by the Lord. Start from creation of Mahatattva, appearance of ahankara, then ahankara in the mode of ignorance create pancha-mahabhūta, as water, fire, air, ether, and their quality like a taste and form and sound. And then that's the third. Then ahankara mixed with mode of passion create 5 working senses and 5 knowledge acquired senses. Then next, ahankara mixed with the mode of goodness create the mind and demigod. Then there is a manifestation of Virata Rupa that makes 6 creation. Then up to that, Maitreya spoke to Vidura on the basis of what he heard when Krishna was speaking to Uddhava just before his departure from this world. And now, after hearing that, Vidura asked different questions, something like, how is that the Lord is transcendental, still yet he is doing something with material world? Seemingly he is connected to the material world. How is that? And then also he asked, the living entity, although he is pure in origin, and the Lord is situated in their heart, how the living entity can get entangled in this material world? And Vidura also asked about how many kinds of annihilation are there. And he asked so many other things like charity and different things. Hearing those questions, Maitreya said, there was a similar question asked by Sanata Kumara. This microphone is okay? Sound clear or something funny? So the Sanata Kumara and 4 Kumara, headed by Sanata Kumara, asked Sankarashana. And Sankarashana was in deep meditation or birth stable, but for the sake of the conditioned soul, for the benefit of the conditioned soul, he spoke Srimad Bhagavatam. And that Srimad Bhagavatam was heard by Sanat Kumara, and then he gave that knowledge to Sankayana Muni. Then he gave that same knowledge in the assembly of celestial sages. Among the celestial sages, there is Parashara Muni and Brihaspati and others. And Parashara Muni was the spiritual master of Maitreya. So Maitreya heard the same Srimad Bhagavatam, which was spoken by Sankarsana to Sanat Kumara from his own spiritual master, Parashara Muni. So now the narration starts from chapter 8, how Srimad Bhagavatam was spoken, then back to the point where he left. He has already spoken about Sarga, the creation by the Lord. Now he's going to speak about creation by Lord of Brahma. So out of 6 was spoken. So out of 10, 6 was spoken. So the rest of 4 are creation by Lord Brahma. Number 1, that means number 7, is Lord Brahma created non-moving beings, something like a tree and bushes. Then that is number 7. And number 8, he created moving being, living entity, but their consciousness is not developed so much, like an animal and beast. Then number 9, he created the human being. Then, number 6, 7, 8. Then he created the bird, the paki. Then after he created the human being. Then at the end he created the demigod. Then Vidura asked, wait a minute, you said the demigod was created during the creation by Lord Vishnu. Then how is that now you are saying the 10th creation was demigod? So he said, okay, the first creation of the demigod, main demigod like Indra and Agni and Surya and all that. But there are so many others demigods like Gandharvas and Chanalas and Apsaras and Kinnaras and Kimpurushas and all superhuman beings. They are created on the last creation, on 10th creation. So now come to today's text. Lord Brahma, so the Vishnu, Garbhodaksha Vishnu was already inside the universe, and he is lying down on an antasesha, and the water is filling half of the universe. Then he is in the slumber. Then all the living entity in their subtle form are compact within the Garbhodaksha Vishnu, along with their fruitive activities. So the subtotal of fruitive activities of living entities, they came up from his navel, from abdomen, in the shape of the lotus. And in that lotus, the first living being, the Lord Brahma, was born. And the Lord Brahma was thinking, what is the origin of my existence? Ātma-sargam. What is the source of my existence? So when he looked around, he could not see anything. Then by looking around, he developed 4 heads. Then he thought that he will go down to the lotus stem to find out source of the lotus, then he can find the source of his existence. So he went through the lotus stem, and he went in the water, but he could not see anything, even though he was very near, but he could not reach. In the purport, Prabhupada said, without devotion, with his own endeavor, he cannot reach the Supreme Lord, even though he is very near. So after that, today's text 20, while Brahma was searching in that way about his existence, Brahma reached his ultimate time, which is the eternal will in the hand of Vishnu, which generated fear in the mind of the living entity, like the fear of death. So the Kala Chakra, Lord Vishnu has Kala Chakra, the wheel of the time. So the time is Prabhupada described, time is an impersonal manifestation of the Lord for the sake of creation. For example, when different elements are created, it's said in due course this element was manifested. Then after some time, something else was manifested. In due course, this element was manifested. And then after some time it said, in due course, this happened. So in due course, that means the cause of the creation was time. Without time, nothing moved, nothing happened, nothing go from past, present, and future. So the time is the cause of creation, that impersonal manifestation of the Lord for the creation. So for the living entities in the material world, the time is very fearful because time has influence. That influence is a six changes, like birth, growth, maintain, production, then dwelling, and annihilation. So the time is very fearful. But for the living entities who are always glorifying the Lord, the time is not fearful. The influence of time is not there. So in this shloka, the word was used duration of life, āyur. Āyur means duration of life. Āyur halati vaipumsa udang astam chayang yasu dasate yang sanonitya uttama shloka bhātanam. So the āyur, duration of time, decrease the life of the living entity. But by the sun's rising and setting, every time sun rises and sun sets, that means time's influence is there. Then every time the sun rises and the sun sets, duration of a life is diminishing. But except the person who is glorifying the Lord, who is glorified by uttama shloka, choice and poetry, for them there is no influence of time. So the time is eternal, but time influence of time is not there for the devotee. Same way, in the spiritual world, there is a time. Sun is rising, sun is setting. When sun rises, Krishna Balaram go to pray to Govardhan Hill with the cowherd boy. When the sun is setting, they're coming back. At night, Krishna go out to dance with the gopis. So the time is there, but time's influence is not there. That means there is no birth, no death, no diminution. Nobody gets older. Nobody become diminished. So influence of time is not there in the spiritual world, and also those who are in the material world, in Krishna consciousness, who is always glorifying the Supreme Lord. So Dolo Brahma went in the water, he saw the Kala Chakra, the fearful wheel of the time. So he went back to the top of the lotus. Then coming to today's text 21. And he said that I am able to achieve the desired destination. So he wanted to find what is the source of his existence, but he couldn't find. So he gave up the search and he came back to the top of the lotus. In this purport, I feel there is an academic integrity. Academic integrity means, Prabhupada said this, is that true? If we use this sentence of Prabhupada in wrong way, we could possibly present something different, something wrong. How we can properly understand and not properly understand, improperly we can present. So now what Prabhupada said here is, in the purport, samadhi involves concentrating the mind upon the supreme cause of all, even if one is unaware of whether his actual nature is personal, impersonal, or localized. Then he said, concentration of the mind on the Supreme is certainly a form of devotional service. Usually when Prabhupada talks about meditating on an impersonal Brahman, he criticized very strongly Mayavadi. Mayavadi said, Krishna, the God, is impersonal originally, and he has no form, no senses, no feeling, nothing. but he is covered with Maya, so he appears in human form. Mayavadi says that. So Prabhupada always criticized very strongly impersonal aspect. And then also the yogis, some yogi perform heavy austerity, and he come to the perfection, and he see the Paramatma within their heart. And then after seeing the Paramatma, they identify themselves as Paramatma. Means they think they are the Paramatma. There is no difference. Me and Paramatma, we are one. So that kind of understanding is not devotional. It's not devotional service, and it's not recommended. But Prabhupada said here, whether it is impersonal or localized or Bhagavan, that's it, concentrating on the form, on the supreme cause of all is devotional service. So now I'm going to explain one by one how is that devotional service. So, Ete-chan Sankarampunsa, also sorry, one more before. The other one. Paranti tattva vida tattva jnana amayam brahmeti paramatmeti bhagavaneti sabhyate. So learned scholars, they consider this non-dual substance, Brahma, Paramatma, and Bhagavan. That means there is no three different person. There is only one person, the Supreme Personality of Godhead Krishna, but he has different aspects like a Brahman and Paramatma. Then Bhagavad Gita 15th chapter Purushottama Yoga explain about tri-ṇemiḥ. Tri-ṇemiḥ is Vedic knowledge, summary of Vedanta Sutra. So in that, Krishna said, there is two kinds of living entity, akshara and akshara. One is conditioned soul, and one is liberated soul. The above these two kinds of living entities, there is another living entity that is Paramatma. Then above conditioned soul and liberated soul and Paramatma, there is supreme living being who is called Purushottama, that is Krishna. So this Kshara and Akshara, Baladev Vidyabhusan and Prabhupada translated as conditioned soul and liberated soul. But Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur said Kshara is a living entity and Akshara, who is not entangled, that is Brahman. Then next is Paramatma, then next is Bhagavan. So in any case, we can, Prabhupada talk about Baladev Vidyabhusan commentary. So we can understand from Baladev Vidyabhusan commentary, but then also we can understand there is another way of saying. So the three shlokas talk about Brahman, Paramatma, Bhagavan, and Bhagavan Purushottama is the supreme. And then if someone knows about this, then the next shloka of three shlokas, then he becomes buddhiman. He becomes the knower of everything. Then he engages in devotional service to the Lord with wholehearted. That is three shlokas. Bhagavad Gita has three sections. The beginning of first six is Karma Yoga. Middle six is Bhakti Yoga. The last six is Jnana Yoga. So in this last three sections on Jnana Yoga section, Krishna spoke this three shlokas, which is a summary of Vedanta. Same meaning was already spoken in the middle of Bhagavad Gita in 10, 8, 9, 10, 11. There he said the same thing. Aham sarvasya pabhavo matta sarvam bhavantate iti matva bhajante man buddha bhava samamida. I am the source of all spiritual and material. He said in only two lines. He said all the three shlokas. There is Kshara, Akshara, and Paramatma. The above all, there is Purushottama. He said all same thing in first two shlokas. Then he said, the person who knows about this, they will worship bhajati, worship. Prabhupada said this worship is being used for anybody else, but bhajati, the word bhajati is only for Krishna. So they bhajati, they worship bhajati with all their heart. Buddha, Bhava, Samamita. Buddha means intelligent and Bhava means their emotion. So they use their intelligence, they use their emotion, and they worship the Supreme Lord Krishna. So the three shloka and Chaturi shloka in Bhagavad Gita, they are saying same thing, but in three shloka they are very much jnana aspect is very strong, very philosophically presented. And in Chaturi shloka, first middle chapter, Bhakti section, then devotional aspect is very strong. For example, three shloka also talk about Paramatma, and then also 13th chapter, Upadristantu Mantancha Bharata Mukta Maheshvara Paramatmepi Chapi Yukto Dehesmin Purushapala. So there is a within the deha-bhājāṁ Purushapala. Within the body there is a Purushapala, Supreme Person is there. He is the Upadrishta, overseer and drishta, overseer and permitter. He is there. That is called Paramatma. So in the 13th chapter, because that is very philosophical jnana section, he is talking about Paramatma is very neutral. He is there, he is a permitter, he is overseer, but then he doesn't really interact with people so much. He is just there as neutral person. But the same description about Paramatma is described in the middle Bhagavad Bhakti section. Krishna said in the Chaturi Shloka, the third and fourth, Teshan satata yuktanan vachata puti puvakan dadami buddhi yogantan jena man upayanti te. I give the understanding by which they can come to me. Then next one, I enter into their heart and Krishna, he has a jnana dipena, knowledge, the torchlight of knowledge. He light up the ignorance, ignorance within the heart. He personally does that. So in the same super soul is giving in a jnana section, it's very much neutral, but in bhakti section, he is so personal. He enter into the heart and he helped the devotee to come to Krishna. And he come with a torchlight of knowledge to despite the darkness. And in the purport, there is a so beautiful purport, Prabhupada Lord, one of my favorite purport. He said, even the devotee, he is inclined to attach to the movement like ISKCON, and he has a born master, but still he is not intelligent enough. Then Krishna helps that person from within to come back to Krishna. I thought that is so beautiful. Like someone is very smart, they can do with their intelligence, but a regular person like us, okay, I like ISKCON, I have bona fide spiritual master, but a little bit of cuckoo on the head, then what can I do? Yes, Krishna will help so that we can come to Krishna. So that devotional aspect is there. So in that way, we see Paramatma very personal way. Like we don't say, oh, we are not a yogi. We don't talk about Paramatma. But Krishna come personally to help us so we can see in devotional way. In the same way, Brahman, we don't say that we are not Mayavadi. We don't talk about Brahma. Hare Krishna, don't talk about Brahma. It's not like that. In Vibhuti Yoga, Krishna describes how Krishna expanded everywhere. He is all-pervading everywhere as Vibhuti, Krishna's splendor. And also, just before the three shloka, he said, I illuminate whole universe as the light of the sun, and I give the light of the moon. And that is his Brahman aspect. As Brahman aspect, the impersonal aspect, he supports the whole universe. Then Paramatma, by his energy, he entered the planet and he supports the planet so that they will stay in the orbit. Then he said that I give the light of the moon and nourish the vegetables so that the vegetable has nice nutrition and taste. Then, not only that, he entered into the stomach of the living entity as a fire of digestion and help the digestion. How Krishna can be so kind? How we can say we should not meditate on Brahman? How we should say that we should not look at anything about the universe. No, Krishna is so merciful. He created the universe so that we can be facilitated and we can use this opportunity to go back to Godhead. And He is maintaining this whole universe as the light of the sun, which is coming from Brahma Jyoti. Then He entered as Paramatma so that I can even digest the food. How merciful is that? So if you think in that way, meditation of Brahma and meditation of Paramatma can be also devotional service. So that is the first line of Prabhupada's purport. Then next one, to cease from sense, personal sense endeavor, and to concentrate on the supreme cause is a sign of self-surrender. And when self-surrender is present, that is a sign of devotional service. That could be also academic integrity. Means here, Lord Brahma, he was searching for the cause of his existence, and he entered into the water he couldn't find. So he gave up and he went back to the seat. If we apply this Prabhupada's sentence, he gave up. He ceased from his activity. If we misunderstand or misapplication could be, okay, we tried to do some devotional service, but then couldn't succeed, so we gave up. Prabhupada said it's a devotional service. It's a sign of surrender. So I surrender, I don't do anything, I give up. I go back to sit nicely and don't do anything. I just sit and meditate. That can be misunderstood and a misapplication would be like that. But the real meaning is, here, he ceased from personal sense endeavor. That means he was thinking he can do it with his own endeavor. The yogi try to achieve the liberation by their own endeavor. They make their own effort, controlling the senses, performing austerity, then cut the root of the tree of banyan tree, and then find out the root of banyan tree. They surrender unto the Supreme Lord. That is the 15th chapter. That is Jnana section. That is the Jnani. They try with their own endeavor and achieve the Supreme goal, and then on that spot they surrender to the Supreme Lord. But the Bhakta, they don't do that. Bhakta, they surrender to the Lord first, then because the Lord sees that they are surrendered, and for Krishna, it's easy to help the surrendered soul to take back to Godhead. So the devotee surrender first, and Krishna help that person, and Krishna will tell the material nature, leave that person alone, he surrender, I will take care, and he will take back to Godhead. So that is a devotional service. So here what Prabhupada is saying is, Lord Brahma ceased from personal sense endeavor. He gave up his own endeavor to achieve with his own endeavor. And then also that means he gave up his own, he was endeavoring for his own purpose. He wanted to find out his source because he wanted for himself. But we give up that. That means we wanted to find the supreme cause. Why I'm existing? What the Lord wants us to do. The devotee trying to find what the Lord wants, what the Lord is desiring for me to do, not what I want. That has to be giving up. Then the first line, coming back to the first line of Prabhupada, Samadhi invokes the concentration of the mind upon the supreme cause of all. So Samadhi, the last line of today's shloka, it said, Samadhi Yoga. So Samadhi, Lord Brahma, after he went back to the lotus, he performed the meditation, then he achieved the Samadhi. So the process of Ashtanga Yoga, there is yama and niyama. Yama means prohibition, such as don't do the ahimsa. Then don't speak lie, that means don't do this, don't do that, that is naya. Then niyama means do's. Do this, do this, do this. That means be clean, study the Vedas, that's kind of do what you have to do. So Naya, Nani, Yama. Then asana, sit in a proper position. Then pranayama, like a breathing process. Then next one is atyahara. Atyahara means giving up all material activities, all their mind going here and there. Just give up, atyahara, give up. That is mentioned here. He gave up the activity of material senses. That is the atyahara. Then after atyahara, there is a dhanaya, concentration of mind. What's it said here? Then after dhanaya, there is a dhyana. Dhyana is meditation. First, concentration of mind could be short time. Like, I'm really going to focus on something, short time. Then after dhyana, then that concentration time becomes longer. Then last stage of samadhi, total absorption in samadhi that will never be shaken by any material condition. You just focus for long period of time. This is samadhi. So it said that samadhi involves concentrating the mind, the supreme cause of all. Then the last line of Prabhupada's purport, Brahma did this, and then Prabhupada said, each and every living entity needs to engage in devotional service to the Lord if he wishes to understand the ultimate cause of his existence. So not here Prabhupada Bhagavatam is talking about the Lord Brahma, but Prabhupada inviting us, everyone, we should also try to find the ultimate cause of existence and then engage in devotional service of the Lord. So ultimate cause of existence. We are thinking different things. Maybe I'm here for this and that, but the ultimate existence is we have to please Krishna. That is the ultimate cause of existence. And to please the Lord, we have to please the spiritual master. So that is today's overview and today's shloka and purport. And now I want to tell two stories. Ultimate cause of his existence in the material world is we are here to enjoy the material world. We wanted to be separated from the Lord. So we are here to exercise our freedom. At the same time, the purpose of creation is facilitating us to enjoy separated from Krishna, but came back to the senses after so much suffering and take us back to Godhead after rectifying us. So we are here as a devotee or trying to become a devotee. Our freedom, our liberation is already guaranteed because Krishna already guaranteed our liberation in the 8th chapter so many times. You will come back to me. Anta karecha maneva yayam bapi smaramba vanta jante ante karevanam. Krishna promised so many times. You think about me, you will come back to me. So for us, our liberation is already guaranteed. So the purpose of our existence is to help other people. We have to help others. That is the purpose of our existence. So the story. This story is from Gola Govinda Maharaj. There is one brahmachari who was living in the Guru's ashram in the forest. There's many devotees there. There was forest isolated from the town. So his service was cutting the sabji, cleaning the place, and carrying the water from Ganga to the Guru's ashram, something like that. So he had a pot, and he used to go to the Ganga, bring the water in the pot, and bring back to the Guru. That was his daily activity. One day he carried a pot, then he thought, why I'm doing this? Other people in the town, they're having a nice time. They get married, they have jobs, they have so much fun time. Why I don't do this? I'm missing out something. I'm just going there. So he filled up the pot, put it there, and told the pot, I'm leaving. Then he left. And after he walked sometime, someone called his name, wait. And he looked back, nobody was there. And he kept going. And then after some time again, someone was calling his name, wait, come back. And he looked around again, nobody was there. Then he looked carefully, the pot was speaking. That pot, he kept the water in, he was speaking to him, come back, you cannot just live like this. And then he came back to the pot and he said, you are a pot, why are you speaking like this? How the pot can speak? And the pot said, Because you are performing devotional service, using this pot, carrying the water every day, so I have the potency to speak. Because of your devotional service, the power of devotional service made me able to speak. So I'm telling you, I have the ability to speak because the power of devotional service. Don't go, come back. Then he thought, okay, the power of my devotional service, and I thought I'm just carrying the water every day, doing nothing so special. I'm just going to live and having a nice time. But then this power of my devotional service is so powerful, it can make the pot speak. I'm going to stay here. So he carried the pot, went back to the Guru. And then Guru was thinking, why you took so long to come back? You just go to put in the water every day, and then today you took so long. What happened? And he said, this happened. He explained what's happened. Pot spoke. Pot said, don't go. The pot said the pot got this power because of my devotional service. And the Guru said, that is not because of power of your devotional service. I made the pot speak. That means power of the Guru made the pot be able to speak. That pot said, if the pot said, Guru is speaking, then that disciple will not come back. So the pot said, the power of devotional service made me able to speak, so he came back. Then Guru said, it's actually not the power of your devotional service, but I made the pot so that you will come back. So the Lord, Supreme Lord, wanted all the living entity to come back. So that the material creation took place. And he sent so many spiritual masters and Vaishnava and Sadhu. And he does so many different things to bring the conditioned soul back. One more story. My Guru Maharaj, His Holiness Jayapataka Swami, he was in an airplane many years back. He was flying from somewhere. He was in an airplane, and he sat next to somebody. He doesn't know who. And then they started talk. Where are you going? How are you? And in the course of the talk, Guru Maharaj said, I'm ISKCON and this and that. And that person who was next to Guru Maharaj started feeling really nervous. And then Guru Maharaj asked, are you okay? And he said, actually, I was an ISKCON devotee, and I'm just thinking of run away from ISKCON, and you caught me. In that way, he was caught by Guru Maharaj, so he came back to ISKCON. In that way, Krishna is so eager for the living entity to come back to him, and he does different things. That is the purpose of creation, and then the ultimate cause of our existence is go along with the Lord's desire to bring more living entity back to Krishna. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Any comment or question?
Hare Krishna Mataji, very nice class. Thank you so much for sharing so wonderful transcendental knowledge. May I know, you quoted some verses from Jnana Yoga. You were talking about Kshara, Akshara. What chapter it is in, please?
15th chapter.
15th chapter?
Yoga of Supreme. Yoga of Supreme, Purushottama Yoga. 15th chapter. Is a chapter where only Krishna speak. Right. Other chapter Arjuna also speak, but the 15th chapter only Krishna speak. That's a summary of Vedanta Sutra.
Right. So what verse numbers are those?
I think 16, 17, 18, or 17, 18, 19. And then toward the end, the last one is 20, and the last second to last is 19. So 3 before. So that means 18, 17, 16. Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay. Thank you so much.
Yes.
So you said the first 6 chapters are Karma Yoga, right?
Yes.
And the next six chapters are Jnana Yoga, right?
Bhakti.
No, the last are the Bhakti. Oh, no, I'm sorry. The first 6 chapters are Karma Yoga, and from 7 to 13.
12.
Right? 7 to 13.
7 to 12.
And so 7 to 12 is Jnana Yoga, is Bhakti Yoga.
Yes.
And then from 13 to 18 is Jnana Yoga.
Yes.
Right? So the 15th chapter is Jnana.
Yes.
Thank you so much. Hare Krishna.
But doesn't mean Krishna is speaking only karma yoga in the first 6 chapters. He talk about, even second chapter, he's talking about jnana yoga, like he knows me, like I'm not the soul, you are not, and all that. He's talking about jnana. But then karma yoga is very prominent. And also in the 6th chapter, Krishna is talking about ashtanga yoga. That is yoga. That is not the karma yoga. So there is so many things. And plus, each single purport, Prabhupada connect even karma yoga in Krishna consciousness. And then even jnana yoga, he connects with bhakti yoga. So everything is, according to Prabhupada thought, everything is bhakti.
Hare Krishna, Mataji. Thank you for. You were be so worried because we are already liberated, or because you just speak about Krishna and we will go back to Krishna. One thing is we are liberation, because liberation is a side effect of yoga ways. And Krishna is saying, man mana bhava, matlab always think of me. Right? So that is we be able to think of Krishna. So go back, Krishna is saying, when you always think of me, always, Prabhupada says 24/7. So when you can think of Krishna 24/7, that becomes the qualification to go back to Krishna. So I just wanted to.
Thank you. That's exactly what I was thinking I have to say, and I forgot to say. So thank you for that. So Mammana Baba Mambakto, Krishna said 2 times in chapter 9 and chapter 18. Mammana Baba Mambakto, Manyaji Mannamaskuru, always think of me and become my devotee and offer obeisance to me. And you will come back to me, I promise you, because you are my devotee. So that is so important. With mind, we have to always think of me. And then one thing which is Mammana Baba Bhakta, I wanted to add one very important point. In the beginning, we are talking about Brahma Paramatma Bhagavan, and then above that, that is rule and regulation. We try to follow the rule and regulation. We try to think Krishna as the Supreme Personality of Godhead. But in Raganuga Bhakti, like Brajabasi, they don't think Krishna as the Supreme Personality of Godhead. They love Krishna because Krishna is Krishna. So much love and affection. They just love Krishna. They don't care Krishna is Bhagavan or not. That is the highest. Then we can achieve that state, then we will go to Krishna Loka. And also one more thing, because of Mammana Baba Bhakta, I remember I wanted to say, the meditation of Paramatma. For a yogi, meditation, the form of Paramatma is 4-armed Paramatma. But for the devotees, it's Krishna, no 4-armed Paramatma. But for the devotee, Krishna is there. And Krishna is not alone. Krishna is always with cowhead boys, with Radharani and Nanda and Yashoda. And they are not just people, but there is Vrindavan, Govardhan, here, Yamunas, and birds and trees. Everything is there. So in the heart of the devotee, all Krishna and his associates and whole Vrindavan there. Just like Lord Brahma, when Brahma was meditating on, after so many years of meditation, he saw in his heart what he saw. He didn't see Paramatma form. He saw Garbhodakshaya Vishnu. He saw Garbhodakshaya Vishnu and Anantasesha. And he saw Garbhodakshaya Vishnu is expanding in universal form and spreading all over the universe. And his own lotus is also spreading. And there is a subtle form of the living entities and a subtle form of material element was there on his own lotus. And then he understood this is the way how I should create the universe. So we just meditate on super soul, but depend on who is the person, what is the desire goal by meditating on Paramatma. So differently Paramatma can be manifested. Thank you for the comment. That is a really important point. I thought I should not forget, and I forgot, and you reminded me. Thank you very much. Few more minutes we have, if there are any question or comment in this regard. Okay. Prantara Srimad Bhagavatam ki jai, Śrīla Prabhupāda ki jai, Nitai Gaur Premanande, Hari Hari Bol.